So for multiple linear regression, we're going to use the shell.rmd file and then the Excel file. And I have linked my file that I'm working on here at the podium. Okay, so those files will be here. So you can download that if you wish. Okay, so start with some introduction. Okay. So the topics we're going to cover are, there are two ways in which we can use regression analysis, explanatory and predictive. So explanatory would be when you're trying to explain the way in which you can analyze a given data. Okay, so explain the data. And then predictive is to forecast what's going to be the value in the future for the target. Okay. So the example that we're going to use is the Toyota Corolla's data. We've already seen that data once before, I think. Okay. And we're going to do some fitting and then assessing and then model building. Okay, so those are the topics. We've already seen regression analysis, the LM command that we did. Okay, but we're not going to use the LM a little bit, but we're going to do a deep dive into regression analysis. So this chapter is about prediction, so which means the target is continuous. Okay, target is not binary, like 0 or 1. Right? It's not classification that we are going to be discussing in this chapter. So the target is going to be a continuous variable. Okay. And the model, the underlying model that we will assume is that. Okay, so you have some kind of relationship between the target and all the explanatory variables that will fit into a linear function like that. So that's a linear function with p variables. So if you have only one variable, then that would be a straight line in 2 dimensions, right? Okay, so so this means the first all the way up to the epsilon. So that those are all constants. So there is an underlying constant value that is dependent on x. So if x changes, okay, the mu will be different. For different set of x's, the mu will be different. Okay, so and then there is an error value, which when you add that to the mean, so you get y. So that's how we want to explain the data. Okay, the variability, the variations in y, we are trying to explain by looking at the x values and coming up with a function for the x values that will give you a mean like that, plus some error. And we want to do the fitting, though, that function we want to fit in this way. So then you'll have a difference between y and y hat. That's our estimate for epsilon, or we call it residual or error. And we want to minimize that error as small as possible. That's why it's called least squares regression. Okay, so choosing which input variables to include, choosing the input variable, the form of the input variables. So we will look at some transformations, some binning, and those kinds of things. So we will go through all of these topics. So the objectives of regression modeling is explanatory or descriptive in nature. So that's your classical statistics. And data mining, big data mining would be for predictive purposes. And when you predict, there are two ways in which you can use the prediction. Okay? One is to actually predict a y value, and another is to rank. So when ranking is the only thing that you're interested in, okay, you're not particularly interested in the predicted value of y, but in the ordering of the y, predicted values of y. Okay. All right. So let's look at how to run the model and how to do some analysis with it. So we start with these two libraries that I have set up in your shell file. Okay. And we're going to read the Toyota Corolla data in. Okay, so let's call it CARDF. Okay, so I have read the data in. So now let's do partition. Okay. Now from this point onwards, we're going to use the caret data partition method. Okay. So well, before that, we have to. There are lots of variables. There are 39 variables. For our, 39 variables is a relatively small number of variables. Often we have hundreds of variables, okay? But for classroom purposes, 39 is a little too much. So let's just select a set of variables, okay? And okay, so we'll so we're going to do 3, 4, 7 to 10, 12 to 14, and 18. Okay, and then we'll define. Okay, we'll take those columns. Okay, so all the rows from the selected bar. Okay. So we have price and then bunch of other variables. Okay, and for us, price is the target. Okay. Okay. So now we do the partition. So we set seed 1, and then we will do train rows. Okay, so we use create data partition. So that's a lot simpler, a lot easier to use. So you use that, and then you need to specify the target, which is car.df price. Okay. And then we need to specify the proportion that we want to select for the train set. Okay. So let's say that we want 60%, so 0.6, and then we have to say list equal to false. We don't want a list, we want a vector. Okay, so then we can do train.df is car.df trained rows okay, and all the columns. And then valid.df will be car.df minus, I should have train rows there, minus train rows and a comma. Okay. All right. So now we run this, and now we have the train and valid data sets. Okay. Now we can run the regression analysis. Okay. So we'll start with LM, the method that we have used previously. Okay. So we'll call it car.reg. Okay. And for the purpose of understanding what's going on and how to interpret the coefficients and the statistics that we get from the regression analysis, okay, we're going to use even a smaller set of variables. So we right now have 10 variables, out of which price is one. So there are 9 predictors in the data set. But we're going to use only 3 for the first example. Okay? So then we can go into the results and look at the results and understand the results. Okay, so LM, right? So price, okay, price is the target, and we want fuel type, okay, plus weight. Okay, here we have to pay attention to how the names are. So let's say look at column names of car.df. See, price is good. Fuel type, so I need to have an uppercase T there. So weight is with W in uppercase, and kilometers, km. Okay. All right, and then we do data equal to train.df. Okay, and then we can type summary of car.reg. So that gives you it runs the regression with those 3.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
So when I follow your partition, the data, my train.df goes into a data, but my valid.df is under the values section. Is there a reason why that would happen? I'm looking at yours, and it didn't happen on yours. I have the same code, but it doesn't send it to data.
Okay, so make sure that the line of code that is exactly right. Check that. So yeah, it shouldn't go to values. It should be here in the upper section.
Is the comma at the end? Why does that comma?
That one?
Yeah. Why does that signify turning it into a data frame instead of just value?
Well, okay, so that's what tells R that you want all the columns. So you have row, comma, column index to be selected. So if you don't have the comma, then it's going to not have any columns at all. And it'll just give you the row numbers, I think. I'm not sure what it'll give you back. But that comma is what tells R that you want all the columns. Okay, so now we have the estimates, right? So we need to look at the estimates, study that, and then we're going to generate one more output, and that is called ANOVA. Okay, ANOVA of car.reg. So in regression analysis, okay, if you remember from your start class, okay, you can set up an analysis variance table for regression, and that's what you get from this ANOVA method. Okay, so there it is. So now we have the output, here are the coefficients, and here is the ANOVA. So now we need to understand what those coefficients are, how to use those coefficients, and what this ANOVA table is.